There's no one here. There's no one I'm saying hello to. I'm doing an impromptu live stream. I don't know if this one in this orientation gets saved, so I'll find out. I think this might be the first time doing a vertical live stream on YouTube, and we will see what happens to it afterwards. But today I am rooting a baby head, as you do, you know, because what else would anyone be doing on a Sunday? I was just doing a live stream on TikTok. Hi! I was just doing a live stream on TikTok, and there were like loads of people on there, and I was like, oh, there's but like not as many as usual, I think, because of the ban. So I thought I'll come and annoy YouTube instead. So pretty, thank you. This is a head I'm working on. It is glowing because there is a lamp inside it, and that is a heat lamp, the kind that people use in Himalayan salt lamps. Actually, it's when I buy the bulbs, I have to search for like a Himalayan salt light bulb, and it heats up the inside of the head to make the vinyl softer. But you have to be really careful when you use it that it doesn't burn the vinyl, because I have seen other people like scorch through their vinyl and basically ruin the doll that they've spent many hours making. So I try and be careful when I use it, but it hasn't happened to me yet, touch wood. So good. You like the glow. It looks magical. It won't be glowing all the time, so it does look like this regularly. But how am I? I am pretty well. I am enjoying my Sunday, just trying to have like a self-care weekend, relax a bit, switch my brain off, and that's what you can do like when, or that's what I do when I root, because it's so just, I don't want to say monotonous, but it's just really chill. It's quite therapeutic. It's just, you know, poke a hair in the head over and over. So it's a nice fun, gentle little brain activity thing. I'll often do this and like watch like trash TV, like Love Island, or I was watching Love is Blind yesterday when I was doing this, just because again it's more like switch your brain off type. Or sometimes like horror films. I really enjoy like 80s horror films, like 70s to 90s. That is just very camp and funny. It is very peaceful. You have reborns yourself. I think everyone should have a reborn, to be honest. I think they're really just great things, and people don't realize how good they can be. I've had a lot of people like who've come to the house, not really understood them, and then picked one up, and then they've gone like, oh my gosh, like I can totally understand now, or I've taken them into work. So a couple of times I've taken a doll into work, into my office, and it's got like passed around the office, and I've had, you know, people that will be holding it for like half an hour and just not wanting to put it down because they just really enjoy holding them, because, you know, it feels very similar to holding a real baby. It's the weight, and they look really cute. So yeah, I've had people just not want to put them down, which is sweet. You're going to order from me. So I sell everything through reborns.com /RebornsofJess, and it's a decent website for selling. But my dolls do sell very quickly, usually if it's rooted. I've got a cuddle baby up at the moment that hasn't sold. Might end up reducing the price, but I'm not like in a rush or anything to sell. But yeah, I don't have huge amounts because it takes me so long to make these as well. Like I only tend to put one doll up every like 2 to 3 months. because it takes me so long. Yeah. You're getting another one soon. Remember to drink and eat lunch. Thank you. I often need a reminder, actually, if I'm doing something that's really absorbing. I won't get up, I won't eat, I won't go to the toilet, I won't drink. So I always have a drink nearby me now if I'm doing anything like this. Got a Lucozade today. Oh, so good. But yeah, eat, drink, stand up every once in a while as well, which I'm not very good at doing. Move around. You watch my videos a lot. Thank you. Yeah, January is a tough time for a lot of people money-wise. Like January has, I think, 5 weeks in as well, especially I think this year there was like 5 weeks in January. So it's like a week longer before people get paid. And obviously we've all spent loads of money over Christmas for Christmas presents and things like that. And yeah, it can be a challenging month. We spent a lot of money this December, not even on Christmas presents. We went on a cruise, which was fantastic. It was our honeymoon. Really amazing cruise. It was like the cheapest cruise line, because we're not rich by any means, but we ended up just like spending a lot of like extras that we were kind of talked into by various people. So yes, feeling a little poor at the moment after that holiday. Save up for the next one. But we hadn't had a holiday like that we've never had a holiday like that, but we actually hadn't had a holiday in like 5 years. So that's really nice. You have to stand up once in a while. Yes, need to stand up regularly. It's 2025. I'm your safe YouTuber. Oh, I try and be like really unproblematic. I see one of my like guilty pleasures is watching the like people that cover like drama between like influencers and YouTubers, because I just find it so interesting that, like, when people are beefing with each other, especially in the crafting community. There's like someone I watch and she covers drama between like crafters, and it's always like, oh, so and so copied my design for this thing, or my crochet pattern or something like that. And it's just I just love it. I love drama as long as it's nothing to do with me. My voice is coming to you. Thank you. I get that comment a lot. I get a lot of people saying like I should do audiobooks and like voiceovers, which would be like a dream. That would be really cool to do. But yeah, I've always had quite a low voice for a woman. Even when I was like 12, I remember my voice was lower than my mother's, and like I had some adults comment on that, and I was like weirdly self-conscious, like, why is my, at 12 years old, like, why is my voice lower than my mother's? But I like my voice now, so it's a good thing I do, because I have to listen to it a lot when I'm editing videos. Oh, but what is really funny is I'll put a video out, and of course my husband follows me on all of my social media, and so we'll be like sitting next to each other or like lying in bed together, and he'll be scrolling through YouTube or TikTok or something, and I'll just hear my voice come out of his phone and be like, oh my god, like, no, turn it off. And I'm like, turn the volume down, but watch the whole video, for engagement purposes. But I do not want to like hear my video from someone else's phone. It just feels wrong. It always makes him laugh. Oh, one of your safe YouTubers has bad allegations right now. Oh, yeah, it's always horrible when like people that you really love and respect and look up to have like scandals or things that come out. I've had that with a few like musical artists that I really love their music, like Melanie Martinez, but then they've got all of these issues, and then like it makes me feel bad for still enjoying and like listening to their music. And like Gabby Hanna, for example, I really enjoy her music, but she's apparently a really terrible person. um, so that's always sad. Or there's a lot of makeup YouTubers that I follow, especially when I was younger. I followed all of like the Tati Westbrook and like James Charles and all of that lot, and like Jeffree Star, and then that like all blew up everywhere, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's drama everywhere. So you've got to be so careful about like what you say and do and put online, especially if you have any kind of following. Like I am so conscious of like the trust that I have built with my community and how quickly and easily it would be to lose all of that. Like the amount of times I've been offered like, you know, money and collaborations by companies that I don't believe in or that have like values that I don't agree with. You know, a lot of people that create companies that create like knockoff reborns, you know, that they're constantly in my inbox, and I could make a lot of money that way, but it goes against my moral code, and it would also completely ruin my reputation. And like I value that more than the money that I would earn from that, because, you know, money can be earned in other ways, but once a reputation is tarnished, it's gone forever. Yeah, it's hard to escape drama. There's always something. Sometimes it is quite fun to like watch if it's not related to you. But as long as there's been YouTube, there's been scandals to do with YouTubers. So. And there are scandals in the Reborn world as well, but not particularly many. It's more around like people getting scammed, or being like sold fake reborns, that kind of thing, and or people selling fake reborns. I did do that. Or just people being rude to each other, which is so unnecessary. Just be nice to each other, you know? Give everyone the benefit of the doubt. I went to a really interesting seminar recently about communication and how so much of what we, the way that we communicate is from what like we ourselves infer. So particularly if you like receive a text or an email, you can't tell like the tone of voice or the mood someone was in when they sent that. And a lot of what you interpret from the message is based on your own like experiences or your own mood. And someone might send an email and they're in a perfectly fine mood, and you know, they didn't mean it with any bad intentions, and they're just like maybe asking a question, but maybe they didn't sign off with a like best wishes, or they put like a full stop at the end of a sentence and it seems quite abrupt, or you're in like a bad headspace when you're reading it, or you've had like a bad interaction with this person, and so you then put like an interpretation on what you're reading and assume that it was sent in a specific way, and you might be right and it might have been, but it would make you a lot happier actually if you looked at it and just assumed that everyone had, you know, a good intention when they were sending a message and weren't like angry or something, and then it can help you respond in a better place and in a more positive way. So That was just interesting. Yeah. Sorry, I've gone on a tangent and then I haven't been reading any of the comments. So what am I rooting with? So I am using, this is alpaca hair, and then this is a needle. These are like originally made for felting, but I am using Root by Heavenly Illusions. It's their like light pink color rooting needle, and these are the best, and I only use these ones now. Certain genres don't get as much drama, like horror gamers don't seem to have much. Yeah, that's true. I think maybe horror gamers, like, they have so much drama within the games and how stressful the games are that outside of it they don't want to have it. You have anxiety and carry a baby doll around because I made you comfortable about doing that. Oh, I love that. So, is this a girl or a boy? This one, they don't have genders. So this one, I think it looks more like a boy, but then I always think that. And then when I add the eyelashes, I always think they start looking like a girl. So who knows? And this one is called Laurie, which is, I think it's like a unisex name. So it could be whatever you like. Getting my scissors. And someone's written, I usually add emoticons to make it seem less serious, because when I use full stops it makes me feel mean. Yes, I even do that when like I'm sending emails, if it's particularly if it's like someone that I've spoken to and is within my organization, I'll add like a smiley face or something to be like I'm being nice, or particularly on like the Teams chat, I'm always sending like gifs and emoticons, just because it's just a nicer way to communicate, and I get stressed if people seem mad at me. But I have a lot of anxiety. I'm on anxiety medication to help with it. So if I get like a message that seems negative or like looks like it might be telling me off or something, I will spiral. But I'm working on that. Do you have to be very careful with the hair? Yes. So this is alpaca hair, which is one of the most fragile types of hair. So when you have a baby that's rooted, it should be glued from the inside, unless it's a silicone, in which case it's not glued from the inside, so it's even more delicate. So the hair is quite prone to breakage if there is like friction on it, or like if it's pulled, or if you use like a hairbrush. So whenever I sell a doll with rooted hair, I always send out a satin square that goes behind the head when the doll has its head resting against anything, and that helps reduce friction. And I also send out a bamboo toothbrush. So this has, you know, it's soft, and that's like for use when styling the hair. So yeah, have to be careful with the hair, but rooted hair makes a doll look much more realistic, which is why it's so popular. And I at one point only had rooted hair dolls because I only thought that they were what looked realistic, but then I started getting into painted hair ones, and I never cuddle my rooted hair ones because they're just so delicate. I always worry about damaging the hair, whereas my painted hair ones, I just usually keep a hat on them and then I hold them loads, which is really nice. How long will it take for you to make a hair, to do the hair? So around like 12 to 25 hours, depending on the head. Where did I learn to make those? Practice. A lot of trial and error. I do follow Sue Ellen's Patreon, which I really recommend. So that has given me a lot of helpful tips and instructions. And yeah, there's loads of people have like YouTube tutorials, things like that. So, but I mean, the way that I like to learn is basically just through trial and error and making mistakes, which I make plenty, but that's also fine. And what if you run out of hair halfway through? It's never happened to me because I do have quite a lot of hair in my stash. And you'd be surprised like how much hair, like how little hair goes a really long way when it comes to rooting these guys. Because it's all like overlapping and things. So you don't need very much. Particularly if you use it in like small sections like this. And yeah, it hasn't happened to me. You can always buy more hair. How much can you hold a silicone before it gets damaged? Well, if you're like just holding it, then it shouldn't get damaged. It's more like if you are washing it, moving it a lot, like pulling the arms in directions that they don't want to go in, or like changing the clothes a lot, and the paint can start rubbing. Well, that's the case on a Reborn regardless of if it's silicone a lot or not. Yeah, just be gentle with them and they should be fine. You thought I was torturing your baby. Don't worry, it is not a real baby. But I always enjoy, like, once I've rooted a bit, like wetting it and then just seeing it just look all neat. It's nice. Yeah. Aren't these things creepy? I don't think so. But I've never had like been in a creepy doll situation, so I don't know. Have I ever created a baby with an unnatural hair color? No. So I did one with like ginger hair, but that's the most I've done. Yeah, I don't, because my dolls that I make are realistic looking ones, so I don't make like fantasy reborns. It looks so real. They aren't for everyone, but I can understand why. Yeah, so I can see why people might find them creepy, particularly when you've like watched horror films and like horror series like The Servant, for example, or the one with the doll that's called like Brahms. I can't remember what that's called now. But like, or like Annabelle or Chucky or any of that. I get a lot of comments from people saying, oh, it looks just like Chucky. And like, I've seen Chucky and these look nothing like Chucky, so I don't understand why people say that. You once had a doll like this and you swear you saw it move on its own before. I love that. I mean, sometimes they might like shift just because they've got weights inside them, so if they're balanced in a certain way, they might just shift, which I have used like for videos, like knowing that one would move if I balanced it in a certain way and then took a video. Or I've made them move where I've like kept my like part of it out of camera and then it looks like they're like moving their arm or moving their head or something, and it's just me. So yeah, I'm doing the back of the head a bit at the moment. I always start at the back. Sometimes you poke a hair in, you try like 3 or 4 times to get it into a hole and it just doesn't want to go. Nothing looks like Chucky. Yeah, I never understand why people say they look like Chucky, because I could understand like if I had made it like ginger with scars, you know, and stuff, and people do make Chucky inspired reborns, but like if you look at a picture of Chucky and a picture of these dolls next to him, like it's not even like, the only similarity is that it's a doll. and maybe that it's white, but apart from that, like, yeah, people are funny about dolls. I think they unsettle people sometimes, so, and people are, you know, frightened of things that they don't know or they don't understand. But if you're an open-minded person, it's all good. You have a Pennywise doll. Oh, that's really cool. How many hours of work to insert the hair? So the hair can take anywhere, like minimum of 12 hours, up to probably like 30 for me, is probably the longest I would spend on a head. It depends on the size of the head. Obviously, the larger the head, the longer it takes, but also depending on your technique. So I know some people that take like 60 hours on their hair, and I have to admit I could take that long and it would look incredible, but I don't have the patience for that. So if you are using really fine hair like this and you go one hair at a time, it takes a lot longer, but the result is phenomenal. Whereas I am currently going like 2 to 3 hairs at a time. So it's a thicker head of hair, it takes less time. It doesn't look quite as incredible as the other ones, but I would have to sell, like put the price up so much to make up for the fact that I'd spent so long on it. And I'm also just not a very patient person, I'm going to be honest. I've never been a very patient person. So this is as far as my patience stretches. Are the doll heads durable? So, and is this the one that has the stuffed body? Yeah, so this one has a stuffed body. It'll have a cloth body and then vinyl limbs. And they, when you ask if they're durable, like, you have to not mishandle them, otherwise they will like be damaged. So like the paint can rub off, the hair can come out. Yeah. You couldn't, like, one of the reasons these aren't really for like young children, for example, is young children will not understand why they can't like change the clothes all the time, or even just like in the way they hold them, the way they touch them. Yeah, like paint rubs can happen. You love my videos, thank you. Do you name all of the babies? So that's a really good question, because I actually don't name any of the babies. So when these dolls are sculpted by sculptors, then the sculptor will decide what they are naming that sculpt, or that kit. So this one, for example, is Laurie by Cassie Love, and she named it that. So I always keep the sculpt names, even of the ones in my collection, apart from one doll that I've called something else, because for me it's just easier. And while I love these dolls, like, I don't equate them with being like real babies or treat them like they're real. I don't role play, anything like that. So for me, it just doesn't feel right to name them something else, which is like, it's weird. I don't know, like, I just feel like keep them the names that they came with. Would I say that Reborn dolls are for 18+ people, as younger folks could break them and they're usually expensive? I wouldn't say 18+. In the UK, we have really strict laws on toys, and Reborns don't pass the safety laws that can make something a toy. So legally, you can't sell these to anyone under 14. Even though, like, I know there are plenty of like 10-year-olds that would take care of a reborn well, there are also lots of 10-year-olds that absolutely wouldn't. I suppose in some ways it's up to the parent. Like, if they think they have a responsible child and they don't mind losing money on a doll, then there's not an issue. I mean, I have a goddaughter that I think is quite responsible. She's 8, and she takes good care of her things. And when I was 8, I absolutely would have been good enough to take care of a Reborn, but then I didn't really play with my toys as you're supposed to. I usually just arranged mine in a display. So it really depends on the child. And the parent, like if they're willing, if they've spent like £300 on a doll and they know that their child is going to trash it, then that's up to them. As long as, you know, the doll isn't pulled apart and the child eats like or ingests any of the fillings, which is like glass, then yeah, it's depends on the person. It's not really an answer, is it? It depends on the person. What if someone 14 plus buys it but gives it to someone less than that? Yeah, I mean, that's fine. Like once a Reborn is in your possession, like you can do whatever you want with it. And so you could give it to someone under 14. At some point I might make one for my goddaughter if she expresses any interest. And then, you know, and she's only 8, but yeah, it just depends on the child really. Ginger hair and blue eyes would make it look like Chucky. Yes, I can understand if someone saw one like that and they thought, oh, there was a resemblance. But some people do make Chucky Reborns, which are quite fun. There's a lot of people that do like horror Reborns, so they will make like a version of Annabelle or any of the like creepy dolls. I've seen a few people make Megan, you know, that one. So that's I wouldn't have that in my house. But I found her very unsettling to look at. How did I get into this? So I started collecting Reborns in 2020 during the pandemic. I was bored, lonely, and I had money lying around because I wasn't paying for like going to work and like going into the office and transport and holiday and all that. Like, so I had a bit of extra cash, and I bought one to like keep me company, and I really liked them and I thought they were really cute. And then I found more and I learned more about the community, and then in 2023 I decided to try my hand at making them and found out I really enjoyed that as well. So I have continued to make them and enjoy myself. And now I don't collect as much. Like I have a lot of dolls. This is my doll display cabinet here. I'll show you there. That's my doll display cabinet. And I probably have about 15 in my collection. But like there was one point where I was like buying like one a month and then and like selling and buying and selling. Now I don't tend to do that, but I spend my time making them instead. How long does it take to varnish a doll? That's actually like the fastest part of it. That probably only takes like half an hour to do the whole thing. It's quite a quick process. Do I buy glass eyes for babies with open eyes? Yes. I don't tend to make them because I find them a lot harder to make. But I do have a couple of open eye kits that I would like to make at some point, including some for myself actually, for my own collection. I have bought kits that I knew were going to sell out. So I wanted to make them for myself at some point. So I've got some fantasy ones. What age is my favourite doll size to collect? My favourite to collect would be like 3 to 6 month size. So this is getting very hot, so I've turned the lamp off. Yeah, 3 to 6 months probably to collect, like the pickle size, or newborn, because newborn is just gorgeous. Like all the newborn sculpts, always really beautiful. But in terms of like holding, I really, really enjoy having bigger babies in my collection because they are really fun to cuddle. But I like having lots of different sizes just for different things, like, you know, smaller ones that I can take with me different places easily, and then bigger ones that are fun to like pose. Have I made any horror themed ones? No, I haven't. I would quite like to create some themed ones, not necessarily horror, but I would quite like to make like Harry Potter themed ones and have like a whole, like do like a Harry, Hermione and Ron. But it's a lot of time. Like I spend like 2 months for just one of these dolls, so that's like half a year. You love my videos, thank you. Do I find it therapeutic? I do. It's very calming doing this. And someone asked how old I am. I'm really curious as to how old you guys think I am. Because I often get told like I have a baby face, but then the other day someone commented that I look 50. So yeah, so comment how old you think I am and I will tell you. Someone says 36. That's upsetting. I am 29. Yeah, so I'm going to be 30 this year. So it seems like most of you are around the right age. So hopefully I look my age. Hi Aisha. Silicone or vinyl? I prefer vinyl. That's just a personal preference. Like it's less breakable, and I think vinyl ones tend to look more realistic. For the price, especially, like if you spend 5k on a vinyl, you're gonna have a doll that looks like insanely realistic. Yeah. Am I a fan of D&D? Oh yes, I have like all the D&D books. I love D&D. I used to play a lot at university and haven't in quite a while because we don't really have like a group here. But when I move, so I'm hopefully moving in like June, hopefully I'll be able to like set something up with some of my friends. I love your videos. Can you say my name? Sarah Maya. That's a really sweet name, Sarah Maya. Can I say hi, Ari? Can I do another unboxing video? So I have one that I need to edit, which is a long form one that will come out at some point when I get around to editing it. But I haven't bought any dolls recently, so I do unboxings when I have new dolls, and hopefully that will be, yeah, at some point. I don't know when. I need to play Baldur's Gate 3. Oh, I am really tempted. So it's been on sale a couple of times and I was like really close to getting it, but I don't enjoy like turn-based combat. And it has turn-based combat, and so that's the only thing that like stopped me from getting it. Because I love, like, The Witcher 3 is one of my all-time favorite games. I have it on multiple platforms. Just really enjoy, yeah, The Witcher. Show us your favorite doll. Which one is my favorite? The thing is, my favorite changes like every time. Yeah, I do anything. Let me think. Who's my favorite doll? I'm really liking this guy. Who's my favorite? My all-time favorite is probably this one. Which is, she's just so sweet. So she was made by Abby Annette, and oh, honestly, the moment I saw her, I was like, I just have to have you, because in person she just looks so incredibly realistic and like a just born baby. She's really small as well, so yeah, I really love her. I'm looking around at like my other dolls. I have a lot, so I might just take you and like show you my yeah, I might show you my cabinet so you can see all of them. Hang on. I'm just giving up with rooting now. I'm gonna show you. So obviously, like, I've got this little girl. And please don't judge the state of my room when you see some of this. But flipping the camera. So I've got two Sams up here, one with rooted hair and then one with painted hair. This is another Abby Annette baby. This is a gorgeous little pickle that I have. She is so sweet. I have a Manuela here, some little toys. This is Reborn Zuri. She is also really very realistic. She is. She even has like eye goop. Yeah, really realistic. This is Cookie. She is my only silicone. So you can see like how squishy she is compared to vinyl. Like vinyl isn't squishy, it's hard. So she's super squishy. This is a Zane, another Abby Annette baby. This is Annalise. She's so tiny. She's like, see, she's really small. Got a load of teddy bears in here. And then this is Reborn Brooklyn. And then this is one I painted. So that's the acorn sculpt. So he's for sale at the moment. We've got June over here. She is huge. She has been dressed as Hermione for 2 years, like 2.5 years. She just sits in this chair. This is where I'm working. This is my laptop. Oh, my room is a mess. Please don't judge me. I haven't tidied it in a while. This is Lily. So she's another Abby Annette baby. She's really, really cute. And then I have a couple here. This is the one that I made, obviously. Moving stuff around. I was not planning on doing this. I've got two here. I've got Pippa who's leaning. So there's Pippa, and this one is Charlie, and he is the only one that I have actually like changed the name of. And then I have another pickle down here who is really cute. She has painted hair. So in a pram. So yeah, dolls everywhere and a very messy room. Is that all of them? I think so. I'm now like, is anyone hiding? Oh, I didn't show you this one. This is like a mini. Just really cute. Yeah. Dolls everywhere. Can you draw me? I would love you to draw me. That would be really fun. I have a drawing of myself that I got from someone at Comic-Con, which I'll show you. So I went to Comic-Con and someone drew me, which was really cute. But yeah, and then this is like my wall of artwork I didn't make. You've just got your first heavy silicone. What part of the doll making process is my favourite? I love rooting the eyelashes because it really brings a baby to life. I also love doing all the details, so I'm going to show you. So this one up close, if you see, so like I've done some little eye goop. He has milia on his nose and little eyebrows, and then I also painted on peach fuzz, and then also put like actual hair on and did, you know, the lips. And so like this guy, he has like little veins on his cheeks. This one is like super detailed, and I just love doing all of the details. You love the one with the yellow jacket and socks. Yeah, is that this one? She's really sweet. She's one of my favorites. She's very early to my collection. Her and Sam and Charlie are the oldest ones in my collection. Um, yeah. Oh, thank you so much for the compliments, guys. I have to say, what time is it? I've been doing this for 45 minutes and I was on a TikTok live stream for about 45 minutes beforehand. So I'm probably going to go and like drink some water. Drink some water, guys. Stand up. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me. What do I look for in a doll when purchasing a doll for my own collection? The sculpt is really important, and then how realistic they look. So the more realistic, the more I love them. Can I do reborns that have skin gunks such as eye gunks? Yeah, I mean the one that I'm just making has the eye gunk and a lot of details. So yeah, I am trying to make mine like more and more detailed. And TikTok gone banned where you are. I'm so sorry. They're not real though. But I do buy quite a few, like most of the ones in my collection, like all of these are by other artists. I didn't make them myself. Can I say happy birthday to your friend Bend Over? Oh, I've just got that. That was funny. Thank you so much. I'm not scared of being in the room with them. Don't worry. I don't watch horror films with dolls in, so that probably helps. But I am going to go now. See ya!